This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get up to $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code GOLF SGPN. College Hoops is back. Make sure you subscribe to the College Experience to catch their daily pods and download the SGPN app for free. College basketball picks. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder, second to none. Their motto is anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using crypto. MyBookie.ag promo code GOLFSGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500. That's MyBookie.ag promo code GOLFSGPN. Finally, we're brought to you by NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. You're getting the best prices at NoVig, available in 35 plus states. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig promo code SGPN. We're live. We have, 2 events now left in the fall. This and the RSM, which is a great event for us dating back to last year. But we got a fun one here, or kind of a fun one. So what did you make of the last week of golf, the last few weeks of golf, I guess? And what are you feeling for this Bermuda Championship?
Last week we mentioned that it made sense that Ben Griffin and Spawn were at the top of the odds board. I don't think either of us could get there, and I don't regret missing out on Ben Griffin. Was too short of a number. When you have these fall events, you really never know what's going to happen. Had a great Sunday. There was a lot of guys who went low just at different times. No one really strung anything together. I mean, I liked what I saw out of Valimaki. Obviously, the first round going extremely low, tied for the lead. And then he had a really good Sunday as well. I cashed a top 6 each way. I didn't get the number that I said on the show. I texted you the next day that it was slashed in half for whatever reason. I still took it. I didn't bet as much.
Nonetheless, great call, though.
But it went from like 125 to 66. So I got his each way on that, but I don't know what the reason for that was or why I didn't bet it after the show or during like I was going to. But regardless, I had FOMO that I was going to miss out, and at least I got something out of it. But what did you make of last week?
Yeah, that event's always like you shoot everyone like shoots a 62, and it's either Sunday or Thursday or Friday, but you get those one super low round, and you're just in it. So it's like whoever strikes last wins. And Ben Griffin played well enough, and he had that really, really nice Sunday, obviously, to get it done. I mean, the player he's became is just so amazing. Crazy. And I look back to I interviewed him the day before he won the Zurich, and that was and he was telling us on the show, I want to be on the Ryder Cup team. And Adam and I looked we're like, all right, dude, have high hopes. And then he went on to win that week and obviously go on to do what he's done this year. So shout out Ben Griffin. We've always thought you were a through and through Bermuda guy only, and he's proven to do it on all surfaces, all styles of golf. And what a story it is for Ben Griffin. So just a massive shout out to you. And what a win for Ben. Obviously he's not in the field this week, but just a great win.
Do you know where that puts him in the world ranking now? I just pulled
it
up.
No, but I want to know. Can I guess?
You can, but I don't think you're going to be that close.
All right, I'm going to guess 28.
Ninth. It makes sense. I mean, ever since the whole live thing, I've had a worse and worse grasp of where guys are going. But I mean, you look at what he's done.
Well, what's Alex Noren?
Let's see.
Because I know he got a massive jump after winning on the DP World Tour, and I think those fields, or at least the second one, was stronger than this one. Okay. I mean, Ben Griffin going from working in an office to 9th in the world in 36 months is less than that. Just what a world. You were the Masters advisor. You can make the Masters. Yeah. What a insane.
And really, when I analyzed his career and kind of what he does, I just viewed him as a volume guy, like a guy who was going to play 35 events, every event he could, and maybe win once. I didn't think he'd do this.
Like a top 20 guy, just do your thing. Yeah, I mean, these guys, like, this doesn't really happen that often. Like, we see like this caliber player plug along year after year, play those volume events, have those 2 or 3 events where they get into the mix on Sunday, but maybe win one, like you said. But Ben Griffin is like literally a top 10 player in the world, and no one will argue that at all. So,
Yeah, he
yeah,
is.
shout out Ben. Shout out Ben. Let's get into the event we have this week. We have the Butterfield Bermuda Championship, Port Royal, a golf course we've seen a ton of times now, and we're gonna have a lot of wind this week. So,
Yeah.
what are you looking at in terms of stats for the week?
This event's very hard to pin down. Like, I looked at my model
Yeah.
from last year and I completely rebuilt it. I just didn't like where I was at with it. So I'm looking at a lot of short games. So putting on Bermuda, what you're able to do around the green, because it's not like the last month and a half that we've had where you can just spray it off the tee. You're going to hit every green in regulation. It's almost the opposite. When the
Right.
wind's in play, you're going to be missing fairways. You're going to be scrambling to save par in some spots. I mean, the winning scores the last 4 years, anywhere from 15 under to 24 under, 2 19 unders mixed in there. So you can score here, but you can also make some bogeys and have a disastrous round. So I'm looking at off the tee with a lean towards accuracy, and then some of the short game around the green stuff, and then just the approach buckets, proximity, the same type of things that I'm looking at. But like you said, the wind looks like it's going to be 20 plus miles an hour for a majority of pretty much all 4 rounds. I mean, it's consistent.
Yeah, so I'm looking at similar stuff to you. I'm gonna lean for the wind, more like strokes gained approach. I think you got to be stern with your approach. The accuracy is obviously important, but
Yeah.
you can definitely attack if you're missing fairways. Now, if you're missing super wide, you're gonna be in some bushes or some water. At that point, you're just pack your bags. If you're not semi-accurate, it doesn't matter. So, if you're a complete liability off the tee or a complete just like you don't know how to drive the ball, I'm not touching you. So strokes gain approach, I'm leaning in on, and strokes gain randomness. Like, I'm willing to go to a guy who like doesn't make sense, who like maybe in some bad form, but kind of has the signs of what we're looking for here. The wind's
Yeah.
there might be some wind splits. We've seen guys win this event in no form, get in the mix in no form. So look for like a few guys from the top of the odds board, and then a few guys like 800 to 1 getting in the mix. So at least I know personally, I'm gonna throw out some random names when we go down this odds board and hopefully cash some top 20s, top 40s this week.
Yeah, I think it's a great week to just, like you said,
Great.
go after some random names. If you want to do some top 20s, some each ways, whatever the case may be. I mean, every single year here, we see a leaderboard that's filled with just a bunch of names. So
Yeah.
good time for it.
So let's get into this. I'm not going to go right to the top of the odds board since everyone's kind of jam packed. Let's just go like 20 to 40. We'll each lift off 2 to 3 guys that we want to mention or touch on who we like this week. So you want to start us off with one?
Yeah, the first guy who jumped out to me, and I'm not saying I love the price. I'm not saying I'm completely sold on betting him outright, but Vince Whaley.
He's having a fall.
He is and 35 to 1's the best number I've seen. Can you remember a time he's been lower? Because
maybe at the Barracuda 2 years ago. That's the only time, but I will maybe.
Yeah, I just was looking and I was like, it's fair. Like, he's playing good golf, but it seems like an expensive price, and rightfully so. Looking at the course history, 3 straight top 10s over the last 4 years. He's fairly comfortable in the FedEx Cup fall. He sits at 86th. Hasn't missed a cut since the beginning of April. So the Valero was his last missed cut. That's 16 in a row. 3 top 10s mixed in there. The only thing I'm really concerned about is his off the tee. I don't love what he's been doing.
He's been riding a hot putter.
He has. He putts well on Bermuda. He does well around the greens. Like I said, it's just the form has been extremely consistent for a player like Vince Whaley. Doesn't rate out extremely well just because of the approach and the off the tee numbers, which are obviously very important, but hopefully his short game can hold him in there. Maybe he's a placement bet. Still considering him at 35 to 1. I just don't know I can get there.
Yeah, I will touch on a guy. I know I said I didn't want to touch on the top of the odds board. I just meant I didn't want to make it an exact
Yeah.
segment, but Rico Hoey, he's the odds-on favorite in most parts of the most books. But Rico, I believe he has just such a high floor. I'm not saying an outright
Yeah.
selection, but top 10, top 20, the ball striking alone. He's played well here before. And like we know he's just gonna stripe so hard, he's gonna flush it in the wind. If we get anything from the putter, he'll be in the mix. But just Rico, I think he's the rightful favorite, and I think he will play well to cash you something, which maybe that'll be a little nod to a segment later in the show. But Rico, I think, is the rightful favorite and a guy that I wanted to at least mention at the top of the odds board.
He's at a great fall as well. I mean, since
Mhm.
this whole thing started, he's already pushed his way up into a non-top 10 for whatever, right after the fall. So that first
Right.
little segment, rightfully so. I mean, it doesn't shock me whatsoever. And I think he's priced appropriately. He's had a great fall. Those 3 top 10s in 4 weeks. And then last week wasn't horrible. I love that he's showing up every single week. And yeah, I think the number you can get to. I really do.
Yeah, I do.
Another one for me up this way is Jesper Svensson.
Okay.
I did bet him already at 45 with the top 6 each way. 121st in FedEx Cup fall. So he obviously has some work to do. I don't love the number here either, but I think this course kind of sets up well for him. Another guy who putts well on Bermuda, can make birdies. I don't know. I don't think he wants to go back to the DP World Tour, so he's going to have to
No.
make something happen. Missed the cut last week, which I'm willing to overlook. But Jesper Svensson at 45 to 1 with the top 6 each way is something that I have already bet.
I'll touch on Alex Smalley, a guy who had a great week, which you were on him at the Bay Current in Japan,
Yes.
and then he lost it after that. And before going into that week, he was not playing well at all. Generally, Alex Smalley is a great ball striker, great approach player, which I mentioned should be important this week. But I just don't know what happened in his last start after playing great in Japan. He's generally pretty solid on Bermuda. And this is a golf course that should make sense for him on paper, shorter, hit your spots, but really lean into that approach play. So good number on Alex Smalley. I don't think Alex Smalley has the dog to win. I genuinely don't. But top 5 bet, you can get a good number on him, top 10 even. So Alex Smalley was the second guy that I want to look at here in this like top of the odds board range.
If he is going to win, though, it'd be something like
Could
this.
be here. Yeah, I agree. Anyone else from this 20 to 40 range you want to take a look at?
I like what Matt Wallace has done with, but he just seems expensive.
Yeah, and Wallace is nice
35.
in these kind of events. I do like him in these random events.
On wins and played, you can always make a case for a European golf. Plays in out, but I don't know. Some of these numbers up here, I'm like you forward.
All right, you cut out for a second. You still there? Okay. We've lost Dom, but I'll keep going. I will try to invite him back really quickly. But a guy that I will touch on while I'm doing that is I think he's in that 40 to 50 range. Is actually Eric Cole. Eric Cole, like kind of Alex Smalley, I don't think he has the dog to actually win the golf tournament. But I think Eric Cole has like the ability to have that really high floor and cash that top 20 bet. He's a very streaky golfer, and he just gained 10 strokes to the field in the event last week. And when he gets going, he backdoors it. He gets off to a good start and just plays well and cashes those top 20 bets. You there, Dom? We lost you for a second.
I was connected to my hotspot on my phone that is upstairs. So
makes sense. All right, I was just talking about Eric Cole as my guy after you. We heard what you said, but then you cut out like right after that. So I was on Eric Cole. I think I was saying when he gets streaky, he gets going. He just gained 10 strokes to the field last week in Mexico, and it's like when he figures it out, he goes on these little runs. So Eric Cole is my first guy in the next range.
And this is his time of year where he shines.
Yeah.
So
like 40 to 60, I guess.
I'm going to go a little bit further down the board.
Okay.
Before triple digits. David Lipsky is a guy who popped out to me at 80 to 1. Might be one of my placement bets. Probably will be, but looking at his recent form, 4 straight cuts made. The last 2 are top 40s. He's like top 35 on the tour this season in fairways hit, like what Lipsky's been able to do, and I think there's a decent value on him here.
Yeah, I do not mind that at all. He also just a guy who pops at random and can go super, super low and get into the mix. I do like David Lipsky. I will touch on a guy down here, Ricky Castillo, 55, 60 to 1 in some spots. He's from this area of the world. He plays great on Bermuda, and for a few times in 2025, he popped with great ball striking stats. It was kind of at random. He showed good things with the driver, good things with the irons. If we can get that, I know the putter will be there for Castillo, and he's just a nice young buck I want to get ahead of. So Castillo, I think, has the juice to get into the mix.
What are your thoughts on Doug Ghim at 65?
Doug Ghim was the first guy I bet this week.
Because he rates out pretty well for me. The form is a little weird. The course history isn't great, but when it comes to a guy like Doug Ghim,
he's going to flush. And it's just, can he make any putts? That's the question.
The putter's been
if he can make any putts, which is no surprise. It's Doug Ghim. He's never been a good putter, but like if he does, if we get like a +1 week, we can definitely. We don't need more than a +1 week, but he can definitely get into the mix, especially when it's going to be windy, more difficult. I trust him to flush those irons in the wind. So Doug Ghim was going to be my next guy. So our squad ride of the week, Doug Ghim.
There we go.
Doug Ghim.
Outside of that, in this range,
anyone before triple digits?
God, not really. There's some chalky guys who obviously rate out well, but I don't know. In a fall event, I like to get different. I don't like.
All right, I got 2 triple-digit guys. I'll give my first one. Okay. First one's going to be Adam Svensson, PGA Tour winner, and he's finding the approach game, which is his DNA. He needs to hit those irons well, and he's slowly finding it. If the putter can heat up, I trust him to get in the mix. I trust him to win. He had a nice summer too. Had those few events where he kind of had those really low rounds and got into the mix a little bit. And then my second guy at triple digits is going to be Chan Kim. Chan Kim is a golfer who is in some perfect form, but at randomly, he'll gain 11 strokes ball striking, and then the week after, he'll be 40 to 1. So if we can get ahead of that ball striking week from Chan Kim, and then he's going to be on the tips chart, a very popular golfer. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why when he does get into the mix, his odds get slashed completely, but I know how high his ball striking ceiling is, and in a weak field like this, I'm going to give him a go. Chan Kim, elite ball striker.
All right. I have a couple guys who are nope, the other one's 125. So right at 100 to 1 with a top 6 each way. David Ford. Sorry.
David Ford.
Hits fairways pretty good off the tee. We've seen him finish top 3 a couple weeks back. So I like what he's able to do. I think he can make some birdies and hopefully stay in the mix here. So somebody I'm willing to go down to 100 to 1 for. And then another guy is Noah Goodwin. Form has been a little bit inconsistent, but a guy who has been fairly consistent off the tee. The approach hasn't been too bad. He can pop with the putter. Actually rates out very well for me. So Noah Goodwin at 125 to 1 is another guy. And then I'm trying to see where this guy rated out well for me before I do it.
I like that Noah Goodwin call. He played his college golf in Dallas, which is a place that gets a ton of wind, so he should be used to that.
There we go. This one might be a little too deep, but
I love a deep cut.
Mateo Montecero.
I love Mateo. He's been hitting the irons great.
That's had the biggest thing.
Let's go.
Not great off the tee. The form isn't where I'd like it. I mean, T6 at the Canadian, late summer. Outside of that, I mean, he's even struggled to make a cut on the DP World Tour, kind of. I mean, he missed the cut at the BMW. Couple top 40s, the 2 events before that, Omega and the Irish Open. But I don't know. If he can put something together, I think he is a little bit too far down the board at 175 to 1 and might just be one of my positionals.
Yeah, I do like that a lot, though, from Goodwin. All right, let's bring it back around. Let's do 3 outrights, 2 positionals, and a matchups. I'll start out the outright. Actually, I'll start us both out the outright. Doug Ghim, 50 to 1, 60 to 1, whatever number you can get on Doug Ghim. That's the squad ride of the show. iron play there. He should be very accurate off the tee. It's just a question, can he make any putts? But Doug Game is going to be both of our picks here.
Love it. I'm actually going to skip Vince Whaley and just go to Jesper Svensson at 45-1 since I've already bet it. Has some work to do to make it into that top 100 to get his PGA Tour card back. Putts well on Bermuda, and I like what I've seen from him over the last couple months. So I'm going to go Jesper Svensson, 45.
Love that. My second guy is going to be Chris Ventura. Did not mention him going down the board 65-1. Chris Ventura is coming into his own in terms of the ball striking, and he looks a lot more comfortable on tour. He was supposed to be the young Norwegian prodigy before Victor Hovland, and kind of switched roles. But Chris Ventura is going to mint fairways and be long. And this is a course where if you are long and straight off the tee, like, you will get an advantage. You're going to get a ton of wedges, and the putter is really hot for Ventura. I think he could definitely get into the mix and win this golf tournament.
Love it. I'm going to go with David Ford. I think I'm actually going to get there from an outright perspective. Hopefully he can stay strong off the tee, keep the irons straight. He showed his irons at the Black Desert, obviously. Before that, it was a little shaky. He was not very consistent when he first got PGA Tour membership, but I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable with 3 straight cuts made. So David Ford at 100-1.
All right, my final outright is going to be Adam Svensson, 150-1, a guy who knows how to win. I mentioned him earlier. The iron play is heating up in the right way, and just hopefully he can get some putts to fall. So Adam Svensson will be my final outright.
All right, positionals. I'm going to start with David Lipsky. Mentioned him a little bit earlier, but top 40 at even money, plus 105. 4 straight cuts made, back-to-back top 40 finishes. Hopefully he can hit some fairways, stay in the mix. David Lipsky's a guy who can show up when it's just a random event, and this is kind of where we're at this week. So David Lipsky, top 40 plus 105.
I like that. My first positional is going to be. Oh, also, shout out Trevor Cohn for cashing that like 5-1 top 20 last week.
Great call.
Yeah, Trevor Cohn. My first positional is going to be Jackson Suber, top 20 plus 250. Coming off back-to-back T17, I believe, or better finishes. And I think I like him when conditions are on the easier side, although they're not going to be super easy, but on the easier side this week. And Suber played good early 2025. Hopefully he's getting hot this time of year again. So I like him for a top 20.
All right. My last one is going to be Matteo Montecero. I don't think I'll get there from an outright perspective, but his top 40 is at plus 188. If you want to go a little deeper, a top 20 is at 5-1. So hopefully he can stay hot with the irons and show us something this week at the Bermuda.
Love it. My final positional is going to be Thomas Rosenmuller, top 20 plus 250. Talked about him a few weeks ago as an elite ball striker, comparable to Rico Hoey with a bad putter, but kind of fell off a little bit. I'm buying that ball striking form, hopefully to cash a nice plus money positional.
All right.
Matchup. Yep.
We missed last week pretty bad.
Who do we have? Oh, yeah. I remember.
We picked on Higo, and he just apparently he's not going away.
Well, he's not here this week, so thankful for that.
Yeah. I will go. Geez, there's not that great of options where I'm looking. Well, I'll go David Lipsky. I'll double down here and go Lipsky over Kevin Roy. David Lipsky is even money.
I like that.
I'll take on Kevin Roy every day of the week.
I like that a lot. I will go with Max McGreevy, minus 105 over Sam Stevens. McGreevy is a Bermuda merchant. Sam Stevens is kind of struggling with the ball striking right now. And I like what McGreevy's been doing. His best finish on the PGA Tour came at Puerto Rico, which is a very similar style of golf. And he has a T8 here in his career as well. So McGreevy to beat Sam Stevens as an underdog.
Love it.
Love it. Well, Dom, thank you for joining me. One more show of 2025, and it's kind of our 1-year anniversary. So thank you guys for listening. Catch you guys all next week. Peace out.